Well, hi, I'm Bishop.
And I'm Dr. Steph.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Couple of Destiny.
Our life, our journey, and our
Truth. We are so excited to have you once again on this YouTube channel. We appreciate all of you so much for just joining us in this space every single week. We just are incredibly blessed to be able to pour into you.
Yes.
And we thank you so much. And it's just been a blessing, right? Many of you continue to tell us that this is blessing your life, blessing your family, blessing your marriage, whatever the case may be. We appreciate it so much. And we want you to make certain that while you're here, make sure you comment in that comment section. Make sure that you absolutely like this and
subscribe and share with your friends and family. And thank you for joining us again.
Yes. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and it would mean a lot to us. Now, I want to encourage you to follow Dr. Steph at Dr. Steph Walker out there on the social platforms. Follow me. Follow me at Joseph Walker 3. We appreciate that. It would mean a lot. So we're grateful to God. And also, please go out there at josephwalker3.org, get our book. We have a book we've written together, Becoming a Couple of Destiny. It will bless your life. And it's something that we just talk about, our story. And we got some new stuff coming up soon, so stay tuned with that. But we are thankful to God just for the privilege to be able to pour into you. And it means everything to us to do that. Now, I'm excited. I'm excited about the momentum, babe. The momentum, right? People have really been letting us know that...
it's like everywhere we go, we can't turn around without somebody commenting, saying that they're watching or they're sharing or they have questions based on something that they saw us do on one of the podcasts or YouTube.
So our commitment to this channel, is really about just being transparent, it's being real, helping people.
Sharing our story, helping people understand that we're not perfect, but we're perfect for one another. And we too have struggles, but we have figured out each and every time a way to just get through it. And we are confident that you can do the same.
And so like today's topic, right? Like it's something I think every person needs to understand. That's how to storm-proof your marriage or your relationship. Right? And I think it's important when you hear storm-proof, you're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. But I think out of the gate, I think it's important to just kind of deconstruct the naivety that people have when they come into a relationship, that it's going to always be a honeymoon.
Perfect,
It's gonna, and I think that's
roses
something,
and flowers and chocolate candies and...
chocolate candies and whatnots.
Whatnots, exactly, all the time. I think, in the state of the world today, we know that divorce rates are on an all-time high and that people are really struggling in relationships that they're in. But I think part of the issue is that people frequently walk into a relationship thinking that it's going to be perfect. And it's, that feeling, that flutter in your stomach and in your heart that you feel it's going to be there always. Well, no, it's not.
And I think that, seasons change and you're going to go through a variety of different challenges in your relationship, and those storms can present themselves as minor as a scattered shower and as major as a hurricane. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter. And I think it's important to just be preemptive, if I can use that word, about how do you position yourself so that when those things occur, that you built kind of a strong foundation. Here's a perfect example. Jesus says that one man builds his house on the sand, another builds his house on the rock. Storms come. The one who built it on the sand, it failed. Great was the fall of it. The one that built it on the rock is too strong. That's like completely easy to understand. But when we talk about what you're building with, preparing for the storm, I think it has a lot to do with the work you're willing to put in so that beforehand, right? And I think that's the deal, like the work, what's between those bricks, right? What is the, I think one of the things that has helped us, I think it's our ability to communicate. Because communication can get you through, I think, most storms, being able to really talk through it versus just retreat and just say, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So I think that communication, talking, making certain that you are able to communicate with your partner about where you are emotionally, where they are, what's going on, what's happening, address it. You can't fix it if you don't face it. So you guys say, here is the challenge. Let's talk through it. Versus saying, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
I also think that comes from building a safe space
Correct.
So creating an environment in your relationship, in your home, where you each feel comfortable sharing, right? Because I can be communicative, but if I don't feel confident that this is a safe space for me to share my vulnerabilities, I won't share. And therefore, we won't be able to necessarily get to the root of the issue per se, right?
Yeah, like safe space. That's so important, right? Because I think that really allows people permission, gives them permission to be able to communicate without
Gives them
judgment.
a level of comfort.
Yeah, and I think that's the important part, right?
And then not making the assumption that my spouse or significant other is a mind reader, right? Like we used to do that a lot. Like, well, you should know. So why do I have to say?
Just kidding.
Well,
Yeah.
Learning that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He really doesn't know.
Not a clue.
Or she really doesn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then helping them, creating an environment where there's no excuse, because if I tell you and I explain it to you, and maybe they do understand somewhat, but not the what behind the why. The why behind the what, rather. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I think that makes a difference when you're communicating and trying to solve problems or solve issues.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's important. So I think that, and this is very clear, communication matters, having that built into your relationship where you can talk about what's going on, not avoid it. Avoidance is not healthy for anything. So to storm-proof your relationship, your marriage, have strong communication, right? I do think though, and these are not in any kind of order.
Because I would say number one would be
your relationship with God.
Yes.
But I mean that's no doubt about it.
Foundational.
That's the real stuff that you build with. And I think that, but how does that translate though? For example,
in real life?
Yeah, in real life.
Well, for example, we've been through quite a few storms, and some of the storms, full transparency, you want to walk away and you want to throw your arms up and you want to just say, forget this isn't even worth it, right? Or, I don't like what this person is doing, and I don't know if they're willing to change or whatever, and I don't know if I can tolerate that, right? And vice versa. I'm sure he said the same thing about me, right? But even if I didn't necessarily feel like he could change or was willing to change, I trusted the God in him to be able to transform him. Because the reality is you can't change people. Grown people cannot change other grown people.
Yeah.
People will do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, right? And when you're spiritual, and if you're in a relationship that you feel like has legs and you feel like it's meant for you, and you both are on the same trajectory forward walking with God, sometimes, and I would say, I would urge you to do this all the time, but just realistically, it doesn't always happen all the time, right? Sometimes you just got to let go and let God and just be like, look, Lord, I can't fight this battle anymore. I'm going to let God handle this.
Yeah.
Lord, you got to take over. And you have to trust the God in your spouse to be able to work within them, to transform them to the betterment of the relationship.
That is so good. That is so good. Like to trust the God in the person, to know that transformative power is at work. And I do think that is important, because I think that a lot of disagreements in relationships or whatever have a lot to do with, people not willing to be selfless, somebody wanting to always be right or make their point. And a part of this, be in control. But if you are willing to relinquish control and say, God, you take this, right? One of the things we talked about some time ago in the episode, we talked about submission.
Yeah.
But we talked about submission is only possible when there's commission, that when both parties are under the mission of Christ. And that is how I'm convinced of it. That is where the relationship matters.
Because I'm not just following or submitting to a man.
No.
I'm following and submitting to a husband who follows Christ.
Follows Christ, yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, I know who's leading him.
That's good.
And therefore, I'm simply getting in line so that we can all be in an alignment to do the right thing and be in the right place and do the right thing in the right season.
Yeah, so stormproofing, it does have a lot to do with, your faith, your relationship with God, your values that spawn out of that, your character, things you will or would not do, how you react when you go through it. Are you going to be over the top emotional? Are you going to be reserved? You're going to be prayerful? You're going to, let this stuff pass? You trusted God.
And this is all things that we've learned, you guys.
Oh,
this is not something that we came out the box.
Early on, we'd be like, I dare you. Like not against each other, but just anything that come at us, we're like, but now it's like we've learned to be more measured. We've learned to be, to step back and just say, you know what, this is nothing but another opportunity for God to get the glory. God, what are you going to do in our life that you allow us to go through this, right?
I think too, we have our book,
Becoming a Couple
of Destiny, and we truly believe that we've come together for a purpose much greater than ourselves, right? And so when that is sort of the core of your relationship, that there is a purpose for you guys being together. And so being willing to fight for that purpose. Being willing to fight for whatever it is God has brought you together for in this season, because there are people that you probably haven't met yet that are relying on your relationship and the things that you guys can do together. You guys are better together. So whatever those things are that you're supposed to do, create, develop, and bless the people around you with, if you don't fight for whatever it is that's keeping you guys together, those things can never come to fruition. And so at the end of the day, someone, not just you guys are losing, but there's a whole stream of other people or other individuals or other, whatever that are also losing in the process.
That's so good. That is, man, this one, and what I'm going to do, this one right here, this one right here. But one of the things that I think that really is equally as important are our social networks, like the people that we allow. Like when you stormproofing your relationship, who are the people that speak into your life or that you trust,
or that you just bring around,
right? Because you can't bring everybody in your storm shelter. Lord, no.
Because you are made up of your personality, your thoughts, your actions, your behaviors are really made up of the closest 5 people that you have around you, right? And so, or influence, I should say, by those people that are around you. And so if you have people that are shady, if you're trying to be in a God-fearing relationship and you've got people who are around you who are cheating or who are lying or who are being deceptive in their relationships,
how's that going to bless you?
How is that going to impact you and your relationship?
It's going to be toxic. It's going to be toxic. I've seen people, because all their friends have gone through divorce, it's easier to walk away from your marriage, or because
so-and-so did it.
So-and-so did it.
And then
So-and-so
they're speaking
told
in your
me.
ear, girl, don't put up with that.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. You should be this and that. And they're basically scripting your life through their lens of their dysfunction. Go figure that. Like, that right there is so important, right? To think about. The kind of people.
And it's not necessarily about, oh, I got married this month, so I'm going to sever all my relationships with my single friends. That's not it. You just have to make sure that you surround yourself with God-fearing people, people who have good sense, people, who don't do dumb things, because now you have more to lose, right? And then people who are thoughtful about your situation. And so if I have a friend who's married and I'm single, I'm not telling you, come out to the club with me on a Tuesday night.
Never doing that.
Right? I'm not telling you, oh, girl, he's cute, you should give him your number, and you're married, right? Like, being thoughtful about the type of company that you keep, I think, is essential.
Listen, the Bible says a lot about it. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, stands in the way of sinners, sits in the seat of the scornful, his delight in the law of the Lord, that he meditate day and night. The Bible talks about bad company corrupts good morals. We have got to really lock in on who are these people that are in your life. And you have to unapologetically be okay, like saying, I'm in a season where I'm selective. Because we've been through enough stuff that now we're like, man, look, listen here, our circle is like a period. It's so tight.
You have to do what you have to do, and you learn from your mistakes, right? You learn from keeping the door wide open and saying whosoever will come in. Like, you have to be selective. You have to be very protective. You have to put boundaries around your relationships. And it's not something that you do individually. You figure it out in terms of what those boundaries and how selective you need to be together so that you guys are on the same page, making similar decisions in the relationships that y'all are keeping.
So, we talked about how do you storm-proof it, right? But one of the things I want to talk about is what happens if you're in it.
If you're already in the storm.
And you're like, we didn't storm-proof, what do we do? Well, maybe this is an opportunity for you to flip it and use it for your good. Maybe it's an opportunity to ask yourself, what is this revealing about your current relationship?
Yeah, where are our weak spots?
Where are our weak spots that we can flip it and then say, let's develop this, right? Because sometimes you don't even know. You take things for granted. You assume either naivety that I opened up with. These storms come and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that wasn't, where's that personality coming from? Where are those statements coming from? And that, rather than take that and use it against the person, weaponize it, use it as an opportunity to say, how can we build on this and grow?
So I think one of the things is trying to get, like you wrote that book,
Restored at the Root.
Restored at the Root.
Yep.
So frequently when these things arise, it's not for nothing.
Never.
And it's usually not even about what you're arguing over.
Right.
There's usually something deeper. And so one thing that we frequently recommend is finding a therapist, finding a counselor of some sort who's a neutral party who can sit and listen and provide advice in terms of how to move forward. Highly recommend Christian counselors because I think they come at things with a different angle, a spiritual angle, and understanding sort of where you're trying to get to. They understand destiny and they understand just godly relationships or what have you, and purpose.
Let me say this. I'm going to say it for the people in the back. I'm going to say it loud and clear for you people in the back. Are you hearing me? All right? Just because you're going through a storm in your relationship does not mean you got to walk away.
Does not mean you have to walk away.
It doesn't mean that it is final. It's a test. It is just because you have a storm in our city, we don't abandon our house because we went through a storm. People know how to rebuild. And that's it. Like when hurricanes come, people lose things, they rebuild. They're like, we are committed to this neighborhood, to this space. What level of commitment do you have to that person where you're saying, if we got torn down to nothing, are we willing to rebuild? That was one reason why I married you.
Why?
Because you said if we lost everything and we went in a one-bedroom apartment eating ramen noodles and we had to light some candles, you'd still be rocking with me and we'd rebuild all over again.
We would.
See, that's a character state. That's a statement of character, right?
I would say that.
And that's what I'm saying. You got to now say to yourself, all right, we took a big hit. This occurred. It may have been this person's fault or your fault, or it may have been some attack you didn't see coming. And it may have just dismantled everything that you have held to be consistent, sacred in your life.
Does that mean we have to throw the baby out with the bathwater?
Are we going to sit there and pile the rubbish and weep and lament and cry, be bitter? Or are we going to rebuild and say, you know what? Yeah, we got this now. We're going to rebuild this. We're going to be stronger. We're going to communicate. We're going to lean on God, have our foundation.
That's so good.
You get it? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk to God. We're going to pray more. We're going to surround our house with prayer. We're going to talk about this and understand what that foundation looks like. We're going to make sure our circle is tight. We're going to get all the toxic relationships out of the way. And you know what we're going to do? Brick by brick, by conversation, by date, by Google Eyes, by meal prepping, by all the stuff.
Time alone,
we're going to build again. And that's why we wanted to talk about this for you, because we are keenly aware that many of you are in storms silently.
And the reality is, there are many studies that have shown that when you look at marriages where people have been together for 40, 50, 60 years, when you deep dive into asking them what was the key to their marriage, if you look at all the marriages, most of the marriages went through some really a negative season, really bad season, and they persevered through it. They persevered through it together, and as a result, it made them stronger, more resilient. We used to call it tempered glass.
Yes.
You know, before you were fragile, now you're tempered glass, meaning you've been through the fire and you've been through some trials and tribulations, and now you're stronger and better together, even better together. And that shows resilience in a marriage. That builds trust. It puts you on a different playing field. And it's not just in marriages, but in other relationships too. Most relationships that are strong, when you talk about your girls, your boys, whatever, y'all have been through stuff.
Man.
And it's no different in marriages.
Yep, you said it loud and clear. Y'all heard her. So guys, listen, I hope this has blessed you. I hope you understand storms come. But one of the things my pastor used to always say, Dr. Harry Blake, God rest his soul, he'd always say, you know what? Storms don't last always.
Don't last always.
After that storm is always the sun that shines. And there's a better blessing on the other side of whatever you deal with. And we just want you to get through it. Yeah, just get through it together. That's what we're committed to doing, getting through it together and helping you get through it together. So whether you're watching this as an individual, whether you're watching it as a dating couple, whether you're watching it as a married couple, whatever the case may be, storm-proof that marriage, storm-proof that relationship, storm-proof those friendships, and watch how God will bless you. This has been a blessing, hon.
Yes.
Thank you. Make sure you follow Dr. Steph. Make sure you do that. Follow me. There you go, right there. And y'all, subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. We want to make sure that you do that. I promise you, we want to make sure we continue to get you notifications when we're dropping new episodes and content that'll bless your life. So thank you so much for rocking with us today. God bless each one of you. I'm Bishop.
And I'm Dr. Steph.
Peace out.